Good morning, everybody. My name is Sean Dunster, and I am the Operations Manager for Church Streaming and the Web Services Division of Ministry Brand. So I appreciate you being here this morning. I want to make sure I give plenty of time for people to join. So if you would look at the bottom of your screen, there is a Q&A button. If you have questions in that, you can put your questions in there. Cameron Kemp is joining me, and Cameron is one of our technical support agents for Church Streaming. So he will answer your questions that you're putting in there. So if there's anything that you want to bring up, please feel free. And again, we can answer that question there. But I want to get started here. We're going to be talking in this webinar today about the proper configurations for your streaming account. That may seem kind of simple, especially for some of those here who have been through setting up your account already. But there's some things that I just want to point out that to be looking for, and then how you can help enhance your account, getting the most out of it, if you will. So I'm going to share my screen. And then from there, we're going to go right into some of the things that you can do. So first off, as you look at my screen, you should be able to see that this is the dashboard view. This is the common view, excuse me, that you will see when you first log in to your Church Streaming account. On this view, you notice that I have a very small window right here. I have nothing in here. I don't have anything that's showing an event, and there's no video or image in this. Well, that's because I don't have anything fed through in here. I don't have an event coming up with a either a rotator or an offline video loop playing. And even if I didn't have an event coming up, I still should have something in here, but I don't because I don't have anything selected. So I'm going to show you how to set that up. But first things first, what I want to make sure that you do is up here in the upper right corner for your account is look for the gear icon. And then you go to an account. And when you open that up and look at that page, you should see the account name. And this is just a test account that I had set up. So just the name of the church, and you can change this name if you want to. If I wanted to change this name to something, and say I wanted to say this, and I change the name, and then I have to go to the bottom and I have to hit update the site, that would give me confirmation my account has been updated. And now that is the name of the church. And you can see up here in the upper left corner, along with my site ID, that this is now the name on my account. So this is what you can change there. Then it has my email address. Then it has my address. You want to make sure you have that in there. Here's something I'm going to point out to you. This is interesting. This is my town. But when you first go set up your account, if you don't have your zip code in there yet, and I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to hit update site. So if I hit the update site and do that, you notice that my town disappears. And the reason for that is because when you put in a zip code, the system automatically finds the town that you're part of. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my zip code again. There we go. And then it automatically populates the town that I'm in. And then I'll go back here and I'll hit update site. So I've done that. All right, so I've updated the site here. And then I'm going to go down, and the next thing I have to make sure of is I have to make sure that my time zone is correct. My time zone is in the Eastern time zone. So when you first log into your account and set up your account, it's usually set to UTC, Universal Time. And so what you want to do is make sure that your time zone is set for the area of the country or even this area internationally that you are located, or else your event start times will be set off. They won't be correct for when you want them to be. So set it for the correct time zone. Again, for me, it's in the Eastern time zone. And then you can also go down here and you can choose your default Bible translation. Again, that's the default Bible translation. And I'm going to get into what's the default and then what's the event selections you can make. So here is my default, and you have 4 choices, and I've got ESV chosen. And then my subdomain is billingtestchurch.sermoncloud.com. Now in here as a subdomain, you can choose to change your subdomain if that name is available. So if you, because the subdomain first will come up as whatever the name is up here. Now, I have not updated my subdomain to this, but when you first create your account, whatever your account name is also going to be the name of your subdomain, but you can change that to something else. But you want to make sure that that's available. So when you go and you change it to something else, and then you hit update site, it will let you know if that name is available. If it's not available, it'll give you an error and it'll say that name is not available, choose something else. So you can choose something very unique. So if you're a First Baptist church, there are a lot of First Baptist churches out there, or if you're a First United Methodist or whatever it might be. So what you want to do is maybe do First Baptist Church and then the name of your town. And you could do that. And then you hit update site, and then that would save that name in there. The other two things you want to do here is you want to make sure you're clicking these, Sermon Cloud and Bible Cloud. This will allow you to syndicate your information of your services over to the Sermon Cloud page. The statement of faith, and I can pop that up for you real quick, but the statement of faith is basically just showing you this is what we believe in the Sermon Cloud network in terms of what you're going to be putting on the site, what you're going to be sharing with others, and that what we do is all in the name of spreading the ministry and the gospel. So that is what this one will do if you're going to use the streaming cloud or the sermon cloud. So excuse me. So that's what the statement of faith is. And then the Bible cloud is really with these, the Bible translations that you have in here. So you have the option to choose those. You can still use your streaming platform without selecting these. That's fine. You don't have to have these in there. The streaming will work just fine. This that just allows you to use these features and functions, which come at no charge to you. They come with your subscription as part of this. So now I've got all my information in there correctly, and then I want to hit update site. So once I do that, it updates my site with the correct information. Everything is set. Now I'm in a better place here because I know that my time zone is set correctly, my address is set correctly, so I'm good there. So I'm going to go over here to my dashboard again, and I'm going to show you as I look at this again. I have nothing in here. Well, that's because I have not set any videos or anything else in there. We have one of our new features, actually, I'll point this out to you real quick, is this little calendar here will show you some streams that you've got going on. We added this in here. So you can add a new stream by hitting this button right here, or schedule your first event by hitting this button here. But you can click on different parts, and that will allow you, if you hit on that date, it'll allow you to open up and start a stream that way. So if you go to a certain date that you want to set up a stream, and today I have is the day, if I click on that, it would show me if I have anything on, but I don't have anything scheduled. It would allow me to schedule an event right there. So what I first want to do is I want to put something in this box right here. So I'm going to go down here to streaming on the left-hand side here, go to streaming, and then go to settings. And in my settings, this is where you would set up a lot of your configurations for your social media pushes, and that's a whole separate webinar. And we've got a recording on that, so you can check that one out. But I'm not going to set these up right now, but that is something that you can do on this page. And then this is where I can all set up the video loop and rotator is what I was talking about. The video loop is what would play on your channel when your channel is offline. So if I go back here, you can see on my main dashboard, the channel in the upper right shows that it's offline. Well, that means that there's nothing being streamed out at this time. That's fine, but I want to have something on my channel so that even if somebody comes to my page, if they come to my website, or if they go to my Sermon Cloud page, they'll see something in my channel. Even though it's not streaming an event, that still means you can have something showing here, either still images or you can have a video. So I want to go to streaming, and I go to settings, and then I'm going to go to right here, offline media, video loop, or rotator. Now I've already did a webinar on how to create your video loops and rotators. So again, there's a separate video on that, so I won't go too far into that. But if I chose to have a video loop, these are video files that I've already uploaded in here, things that will be there. Right now, say I'm going to choose the default sermon video. So that's what I've got as I've selected in here. When you go down here, you can choose whatever is in your library, or you can add another video. If you click that button, it'll allow you to upload a media file into your system that you can choose from. Right now, I'm using the default sermon video, and I'll hit save. So once I hit save, it says media settings saved right up there. Then I'll go back to dashboard. If I go back to dashboard, now this black screen is going to go away, and you're going to see a video playing in there. And this video will just play, and then when it reaches the end, it'll loop back and it'll play again. That's the exact same thing that will happen on your streaming channel when it is offline. When there is not a streaming event happening, it will play this video on your channel so that your channel won't seem dark. It will always have something on it. You can choose to have a promotional video. People, many of our clients have something that's 2, 3, 4 minutes long that they play, and then it just loops and plays again. You could have announcements. You could have any number of things that play on your channel the way you want. You can edit together some really nice creative things doing that. Or you could have a rotator, which is a series of image slides, and you can have a bunch of information on that. Again, I did that as a separate webinar, and you can check out that link to how to create a rotator, because you can have hot links within those images that could take people deeper into your website or into other things. So that's something just to consider. So now I've got an image in here, but I still don't have an event created. All right. So what I can go back here is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go to my events, and I'm going to just create something very quickly. So I'm going to hit add new streaming. Here we go. And I'm going to say this a brand new test event. Okay, so we've got that. Do I have a series or anything else? Location? Well, it's going to be, there's my church. That's where it's going to be. Categories. I don't have a category right now that I have got selected. Preacher. If I wanted to add a new preacher, I could. And say I'm going to make a preacher to, yeah, all right, I'm going to add myself. Oh, spell my name right, though. There we go. Now I've added myself as a preacher. If I was doing a series, I could add the series. And then you set up all the other information. Mindful, you do not have to do any of this stuff except for the title. The rest of this, you don't have to set up to stream an event. You just need the title, and then you need to set the time. So I'm going to say, okay, 7 o'clock. I'm going to leave this, it defaults to an hour, and then you can get it done. And then a passage. This is where we talked about where you can choose on this event, separate from the default. You can choose, okay, I still had the default was ESV, but I'm going to go with the King James Version. And I'm going to say, I'm going to go to the book of Job. And I'm going to go chapter 3, verse 12 to chapter 4, verse 1. Okay, there we go. I've added that in there. So that's the passage that I have in there. And then there's SEO, search engine optimization, if I want to put some keywords in there that'll help me in a search. All right, I'll hit save and next. And then what I'm going to go to here is it'll ask me a simulated live or live, simulated live or live. Simulated live is just where you would upload a video and the video plays out at your designated time. Live is what you're feeding from your encoder into the system. And then it'll ask me, what is the offline video that I want or rotator that I want? Again, remember in the default, I selected an offline video that was playing of just the field. But I could choose for this event that I don't want that video. I want, maybe in here, I want that rotator, which is just a simple image. So that's what I want in there instead of that video image. Okay, that's good. Additional content. This is a message on the book of Job. Okay, that's the information I've put in there. Now, I remind you that I have to hit save and next, and then I did not configure my social media channels, so it doesn't give me that option because I haven't configured them yet. So all I have here is to choose to go to Sermon Archives, which I would say, yeah, I'm going to publish the sermon archives. And then I need to change my publish status to publish, out of draft to publish. Save and done. And if I do that, then what's going to happen is if I go back to my dashboard and I look at my dashboard here, it's going to change. Now it takes a minute for it to go through. I still have the video showing up on my screen here. But then once the event itself populates properly in here to the dashboard, you're going to see this change. You'll see the name change here from next event, and it will give a countdown clock. So as soon as it populates, as I said, it takes a minute for it to go all the way through. Okay, there we go. So brand new test event, and there's the countdown. The countdown is showing in 1 hour and 6 minutes that there will be a streaming event there. Okay, that is on your dashboard. If you look at the bottom, it gave the name, who the preacher is, the date, the passage, and then this is a message on the book of Job. So that's the information to be showing there. And that's what your next stream is going to be. So it shows that there. So now what I want to do is I want to take you over here and I'm going to go to your settings page because I want to show you where you can look at what your Sermon Cloud can be set up as. The Sermon Cloud link that you want to find is under Appearance Settings. If you go to Appearance Settings, and you can see right here, this URL right here at the top, that's your streaming page URL. The Sermon Cloud page is another link that you could send out to other folks that they could watch your content. You could send that out to them. Now you have your embeds on your website, and then you can have your Facebook and YouTube. This is another page though that somebody can go to. And I'll cover that. And they could look and watch your services there. Plus they can see your archives. So here, I'm going to go over here. I've already called this page up. This is my page. There we go. And look, my page is already updated with the still image. Remember, it's not a video, it's a still image. It's got the name, a brand new test event, and who the preacher is, me. And then it put my information over here, the details, a brand new test event, when is it going to be from 7 to 8, preaching on Job. This is a message on the book of Job, and it gives me the countdown. So this is what will show up on that URL that I just showed you. And you can send that out to folks so they could watch on this one right here. Now, the other thing that you have available to you when you set up your account is when you come down here into your settings, you have prayer. You want to enable your prayer and enable acknowledgments. And then I want to put in here, this is the section where we pray for each other. Okay, so I'm going to hit, oh, here we go. I'm going to hit save on that. Okay, so I hit save. And now what I've done is I put that on here. Now I'll tell you this real quick. If you do not have these enabled, and if they're grayed out where you cannot enable them, go over here to the left-hand side again and go over to Connect and go to Prayers and make sure that you have, there would be in here a section where it would ask you to enable your prayer account, and then you'd be good there. So, and then I can also look at my settings, because my settings is you can notify anybody when a prayer comes in. It could be sent as an email to somebody. So if you have an associate pastor who's not on this dashboard, who wants to see the prayers, that could go to them. So this is a page where you can customize and do a lot of things. You can custom email to the submitter of the prayer request, and then you can have a acknowledgement of the prayer. And that's really, really kind of nice to have that on there on the page. So when somebody submits a prayer, it gives a message right back. So look for that to make sure this page is active. And that way, when you go into your settings and go down to the bottom on appearance settings, you will see that the prayer is able to be activated. So you get this. This is a section where we pray for each other. And I hit save. I think what I did already, but let's do it again. Okay, so I hit save, and then I go back to my billing test church. So here's where I have the prayer available. And if I open that up, Currently, there are no prayer requests available. Let me refresh this here because I put a message in here. And then that will show. This is the section where we pray for each other. So that's the little message I put in here. And then somebody who wants to share a prayer, they can click in here. And then you have the ability to moderate those prayers before they become visible on here. You can moderate them to choose to, if there's too much personal information, you can shorten them up or whatever you want to do. So you have that option in here. Okay, on the configuration of this page, I showed you all the information it gives here, the date, the countdown. So some other things that you can put in here that are really kind of nice little features, is I can change the look here. So if I wanted to, I say I don't like necessarily the blue and the green, the way it's laid out here. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say, okay, I want my header color. Actually, I want that to be more of a a deeper green. So I'll go to that color right there. Okay. And then I want my accent color. And the accent color, again, is these right here. So I want my accent color to be more of a, let's go to a, there we go, like a burnt orange. Okay. So that's set. And then if I want to put an image in here, that's my church logo. So if I've uploaded into my media section here, where I can upload content in there, if I'll go back here to my settings, but if I want to upload something, it would show up as soon as I click in this, it would show me the images that are available that I could put in there. So I'm going to put this one in here as my logo. Okay. So as I hit save on that, and then I can go back over to my page here. So none of this has changed, but as soon as I refresh the page, and as I refresh it, it's changed the colors. Now the highlight color is different and the banner color is different. And my logo, my image is up here. So that's where you could put your image for your church. You could put your logo up there. So that's given the colors changed. See how the highlight colors have changed and then the border colors have changed. So that's all around there. So that's just a cool little function. I'm going to show you one more thing though that's really kind of neat on this. So if you have and I know every church does, you have a YouTube page or you have a Facebook page or just even your website or anything like that, a Twitter account for the church. So what you can do is you can create a live stream layout navigation using a linked list. So say I'm going to create a linked list that shows up on my page. So I say edit link list. It opens up a new page for you. And I'm going to call this is my streaming event link list. Okay. There we go. And is there an image I want to do? No. Okay. So now, here we go. All right. Link list was added. There we go. And then what I want to do is I want to go to actually go here, my churches section down here. So here's my church name. Okay. That's the name that we saw on the account before. And then as I go down here, I've got my website, but then I also have lots of social media pages down here. So if I have a Facebook page, and I'm just going to put a Facebook page in here. So I'm going to put a Facebook page. I'm going to put a Twitter. I'm going to put a YouTube. There we go. And I'm going to put a Vimeo. There. So I put those four in there and I hit save. Okay, so it saved that church information. So now if I go back over here to this page and I refresh, so on my Sermon Cloud page, There we go. I have my social media here. And then there's my streaming event link list. Now, I did not, at the time when we were doing this, I didn't put any links in here. But if I wanted to put my church website, if I wanted to put other things in here that wanted to be linked out, I could do that right here. And then this would be clickable. But right here, these are my social media icons tied to those pages that I just put in there. And that would be available on that page as well. So you could have people link out right there. If you have a website giving platform that you wanted to link to, you could create the link list right here and they could click on that and go to it. So that gives you options for what you can do on the Sermon Cloud. Now, I will tell you one other thing on this. The information that you put in your account down here again. So if I go back to my churches, and it's really important that you fill this information out because you don't realize the different places it shows up. So I show service time Sunday at 9, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. And I just put a name and a descriptor. This is a great church. And I put information on here, okay? When I go over here on your Sermon Cloud page, because a Sermon Cloud page is more than just the live page that you see here. If I just show my Sermon Cloud as it is, like this is my Sermon Cloud archive page. So all the things that I do on Sermon Cloud, once it is streamed out, it's archived here. At the bottom, it shows me all the information. So if somebody comes to my church, this is the website. This is my information about who I am, where I am, things like that. So you can have all that on your own Sermon Cloud archive page. Again, this comes with your subscription, doesn't cost anything extra. So this is something that you can use. Little word about Sermon Cloud. Oh, and here's my links again. So on my page, this is everything right there, which is a great way to have it. Your Sermon Cloud is, we like to call it the YouTube of ministry. And basically what Sermon Cloud is, and I'll show you this in a second, is it's a repository of services, messages, videos from churches from all over the country, all over the world. And they can use this to upload videos that other churches can find. So if I go to Sermon Cloud itself, and I'll just go to sermoncloud.com. So let me get rid of this one. So I'll go to sermoncloud.com. This is what sermoncloud.com is. So you can see videos from churches all over. And say I wanted to search for something on a different topic. So if I put the topic of grace, and I wanted to find videos that talk about grace, it's going to look through all those videos that have been uploaded, and it found 1,000 results in the search of grace from all over different churches. First Baptist Church of West Albuquerque, Grace Bible Church, going down First Baptist Church of West Albuquerque, Parkwood Baptist Church, Word of Life Church. So these are all different things that other churches have uploaded in the Sermon Cloud, and you can be part of that as well as part of a Sermon Cloud network. When you do a stream, and you can choose to put it up there or not, it's up to you. But you can put your content on the Sermon Cloud when you stream it out, and then you have your live page, as I talked about, and then you'll have, and I'm going to go back here. I'll go back to you have your live page, and then you have your archive page. Your archive page is anything that you've done. Here's one from May 20th. Here's one that's the May 20th one. On when I do this other one tonight, it will put it on here. And then you can filter, you can search it, and other people can search it. And then you have your live page. And I go in here, and I'll put in live. That will take me to my live page. And then here it is, 53 minutes before my event. So this is how you can use the Sermon Cloud page, but then you can also customize it with a lot of different other features and functions here that people can click on to take you to different things. So if I wanted to click on this one, this would take me to the Facebook page that I connected on here, which takes me to a page I set up just called My Church. So that's a great way to give people immediate access in. So hopefully you found this information helpful. Hopefully you found that there are some ways that you set up your account to give the proper information in here so that it can be then relayed as part of your engagement with other folks as they watch your content. But if you have any questions for our support team, please don't hesitate to contact us. Up here in the upper right corner, right there, is the support info and system status. You click on that, and this gives you any information about the status of the system. If you have billing account questions, or if you need to request support, you click on that button and it just pops up a form, and you fill out that form, and then our support techs will get right in touch with you. So